So 4 things that the sun gave to the people that it didn't give to the animal. Language, linguistics, mathematics, fire, and a walking stick. And the first 2 human beings had all 4. We never were a time on this planet where we were walking around going, The first mother and father could speak just like you and me. Except in one language created for nature. Today we don't speak about the nature much anymore. So hell. Hell is home. Hell is where we come from. Hell was the North Pole in the paradise. Hell was the most beautiful place in the history of the planet. In this story, it comes from hell. No negative in hell, only the church. If you look in the dictionary, 60 some odd words that start with hell and only one of them's bad. It's the church. So maybe hell's not the worst place. I was there 5 months ago I was in hell. It's called Helsinki today. We're going to start with one story about how we came out from this mother and father. This Frey and Freya. It started with incest from the beginning. It was brother, sister, what to do. And they're going to make five families. 2 people, but 5 families. In hell were the first 2 families. And the highest family on the planet was called Piruet. Piruet. P is a circle, Ru means peace, and Et means family. So this first family is called the Peace Ring family. And when you spin around on one foot, it's called Piruet. 1. And we start with Frey and Freya. We're going to call Frey, we're going to call him the Bok. This is called the Bok Saga. It's been kept in the Bok family. And Freya, we're going to call her the Swan. In Bond language, he's called Lemminkainen, and she's called Jotun. The Bok and the Swan, Frey, Freya, Sampo and Aino. They're going to make 12 sons and 7 daughters. And the first boy born on this planet to sperma, because Frey and Freya were not born from sperma. They were given sperma. The first boy born on this ball to sperma, he is called Ra. And Ra, he is the king of the planet. And Ra, he represents the moon. And Ra, this moon has one new moon called Say Moon, or Sea Moon, shaped like one banana. And this Ra, he has one decoration down here between his legs, shaped like one banana. There's Ra. And from Ra Say comes the race, the Ra Say, the race of human beings. And Ra, he was the king. He also had the Say. He was the As king. So we were all asking this As king how we should be in the life. And Ra himself didn't make children, but he was the one who would make the race of human beings. There were 10 more sons. And these were the word intention comes from. And these 10 brothers, they didn't make children. The first 11 sons didn't make children in this family. But the 12th son, he became what we call the Bok. He was the breeder. And he had one decoration that was straight. Different than this Ra, this banana. The Bok, the Swan, 12 sons. The first woman born on this planet, she's called Maya. And Maya is the queen. She's the queen of the planet. And her 6 sisters, they're making up all future with the mother of the planet. The women made the future, and the men, we kept the history. And Maya, she was the queen of hell, and Ra was the king of hell. And they both represent the moon. So the moon is the queen and the king. Maya and her six sisters, these 6 sisters, in Van language we call Noitas. In root language we call them Hexa. In English we call them witches. And they represent these 7 stars called Pleiades. One of these stars is called Maya. The 7 sisters, we call them. So this first family, 12 sons, the first son Ra, 10 sons in the middle, the 12th son, the new breeder, the new Bach. The first daughter, she's called Maya, she's the queen, 6 sisters, and by the time you had 12 sons, you had more than these 6 sisters, and these Moors were called Moors. And this was the highest family on the planet. From this, we come to a second family called Rosette, or the Rose family, the family of the rose. In the family of the rose, now the sperma has been divided one time. So the Rosette people had half the soul of the pirouette. The soul is in the sperm. The woman in her, she has something called in-her-G or in-her-Gi. In this second family, if you're born one girl and you're healthy in beauty, because before, to make children, we used only the beautiful and healthy women. If they didn't look so good and they weren't very healthy, we didn't use. There were certain people who could make children before and certain people who had other jobs. And these women who were going to make the next generation for this Rose family, the second family on the planet, they are called Disa. And Disa would be the stem mother for the next generation of children in this second class of family. But both Asr. If you were one of these women that weren't so beautiful and healthy in this second family, they called you one Sien Nare. In the Sien Nare, they were the crystal ball readers. They were given the As's true logic, the astrology. If you were beautiful and healthy, you were a Disa, a mother. And if you weren't so beautiful and not so healthy, you were called one Sien Nare. At the top of the planet was one ring of land called Udenma. And around this was 6 more ring lands. Hamanma, Cumanma, Estenma, Liebenma. 6 more ring lands. And around this is the whole planet was divided into ringlands. More than 2,000 ringlands on this planet. And to each of these ringlands came one of these Sien Nares, bringing the future to these next class of people. If you were one boy born in the second class, and you were small like me, not really Papa material, they call you one Nar. And one Nar, he has the Na, the knowledge of Ra. Er is Ra, and Na means knowledge. In English we spell it knowledge. So the Na, the Nar, he's bringing out information from the king and the father at the top. And to each one of these ringlands, one Nar comes down, bringing one program from the top. If you're in this second family, you're Rosette and you're one big strong guy. Before, the men were chosen for size and for anatomy. Is the nose in the right place? Is the arms too long? Are they too short? So we used men that were big and strong. We wanted big, healthy, strong, beautiful people. So the mothers were beauty and health, and the men were size and anatomy, is the proportion. We were in one different system than we live today. There was planning, it went to the children before. I won't get to it, but it took over 2,000 people to make one child before.